back to my channel. So today I'm showing you how to make this card. So I'm taking my standard 6x4" card base. I'm taking a sentiment stamp which is from Crafter's Companion and it's called the Getting Old. And I'm also taking the stamp and stencil by Waffle Flower, which is the Lighthouse. So I'm working out where I want my horizon to be for the sky and then where I want my seas to be. So basically, I don't know if anybody else is like me, but I do struggle sometimes making cards if I don't have inspiration for them. So yesterday I went through all my stamps and I decided I was wanting to use a sentiment that I've not used for a while. I think I've used this sentiment once and that's pretty much it. And I don't even think it was like the main focal point of the card. It was more of an inside sentiment. So I wanted to make sure that I get the quality out of my stamps. I don't want to be buying stamps all the time and then not using them more than once or twice. So I decided that I was going to reuse this stamp, and I'm glad I did. I love how it turned out in the end. So this is actually going to be for my granddad. So it's my granddad's birthday in June, and then it's also my grandma's and their wedding anniversary. So I have a couple of cards to make for that. I also apologize if you can hear I don't know how to describe it. It's like a fan noise. My dad's charging his bike up, so that's basically what that is. And I also sound like I've got a cold as well, so I do apologize. So I'm using Salty Oceans Distress ink with the Making Waves or Make Waves stencil by My Favorite Things. So I've had this stencil for a while now, and I still haven't used it. So this is like one of those things where I'm kind of nervous to use it, but once I get used to using it a lot, I think I'll be okay. It's like when I started using the Rolling Clouds one, I just didn't know how to go about it, and then now it's probably my most go-to for any scene. So I just stamped my sentiment, as you can see. So the sentiment actually says, "You're not getting old, that ship has sailed, you've been old for a while now." And I just think it's really funny, and I'm hoping my granddad sees the funny side of it. I mean, he is getting older now, so I do think his humor isn't as what it used to be, but I think everybody around him will probably appreciate it as well. So, I had an idea for this sentiment for a card before, but I just didn't have a stamp to go with it. So my original idea was to have like a beach themed card, which was going to have like deck chairs on the sand with like sailboats in the background with the sentiment, but I'd need to use a bigger card base than what I was using today. So I ended up going for the simpler version, which is just using the sailboats, which is also a good thing because I think when I look at my stamp and stencil by Waffle Flower, I think I've used it maybe twice now, and I've just not used the sailboats at all because I just didn't know how to incorporate them into the card. So it definitely works for this as well. I just love how this is turning out. So I'm using Rolling Clouds, as I said before. It's one that I used to struggle with, but now I love. And I'm bringing in Tumbled Glass Distress Oxide just to add some clouds into this background. So I have a tendency of going too heavy-handed, I have to admit. And you're probably looking now at this and thinking it's not very crisp, is that sentiment anymore? But I left my sentiment in my stamping platform, so I can just put this back in and restamp it. So I don't have any issues with that. But yeah. Also, I did forget to get rid of my pencil lines, but you can't really see them once I've added every little detail into this card. So I feel like I messed up. I feel like this would have looked better, but I ended up going back in, as I said, because I thought, you don't really get a line in the ocean, and then I was like, I need to get rid of that. So I ended up going back in, and I think I went a bit overboard. So let me know if you prefer this, or what it's about to turn into once I finish stamping the sailboats. I just think I added too much in the background. I don't know, maybe. So I'm just taking my little stamp acrylic block. So I did a haul video of all the things that I purchased this year, and the acrylic blocks were one of them. I really do apologize. I don't know what's going on with my nose and stuff today. I think it might be my hay fever, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's a really great card. I think you could use this for any masculine card. I have another idea that I want to use for this card. I just need to find an embossing folder in the design that I want. But at the moment, I'm trying to use all the supplies that I have instead of keep purchasing, because I no longer work at the moment. I took a break because of my mental health and stuff, so this is kind of the only thing that I'm doing at the moment. And basically I don't know what to do, like for job wise and stuff. So I do still like work with my dad and do roofing jobs occasionally when he needs me, but at the moment I've not really been doing as much as I used to. So yeah, pretty much I've not really been doing much. So as you can guess, I'm on a very limited budget now. Like before I could spend whatever I wanted on craft supplies, and now I pretty much have a budget of around £70 a month for all my supplies. So if you guys want to see a video on how I work my budget and what I need and what I end up buying, let me know down in the comments, and also hit the thumbs up button so I know that's a video that you'd like to see. And as you can see, I've just added some birds into the background, because what's a sea card without little birdies? So I was going to add some texture paste into this, and I didn't, and I'm quite glad I didn't, because I think it would have just been a bit too much. But yeah, I absolutely just love how this turned out. I think it's one of my favorite cards so far, and I definitely think I'll be recreating this card quite a lot for family members, or if I'm in a rush for a card. So yeah, I feel like I just talked all the way through this video, guys. I do apologize, but it was very simplistic. It wasn't much like coloring or anything. It was just ink blending and stamping. So I'm bringing in my Spectrum No Sparkle pen right now, and I'm just going over all the waves, just so it kind of has like glisten that you get when you see the sea with the sunlight. And I added bubbles, which is an embellishment from Little Things by Lucy's, as you can see, and it just gives you that extra dimension into the background as well. And that's pretty much all I did for the video, guys, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe, follow me over on my social media, hit that notification bell, it will update you every time I upload a new video, and until the next one, I'll see you in my next one. Stay safe, and happy crafting. Bye, guys! Don't affect it, but that's it. That's all I forgot to tell you guys. Everything I use is linked in my description, and let's put a bit of fun. Bye.